little jig. How you doing? So, welcome to my channel. I am Art Walker. You found me pretty fast. That was really quickly. Can't believe how quick that was. I'm going to explain to you all today how to draw hands. Hand drawing for beginners. I've done a few of these. I could literally do this every day, 8 hours a day, because hands are always trouble for people to draw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys through how to get through the basics of hand drawing. So bear with me, and I'm sure you'll get a lot from this live stream. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you really like what you see, please share the live to whoever you think may need something like this. So as you can see here, I've got this hand drawn up. It's quite a complicated hand, as you can see, with all the bone structure and stuff like that. We won't be going that deep. However, thank you very much for the gifts. The dead are living. That's an interesting name there. I like that. So I'm going to take you through how you can learn how to draw this, but this will come later. But we're going to basically learn how to draw a hand with this simple system that I have developed. So we've got 9 people in the live. I'm going to ask the 9 who cannot not draw hands. How you doing, Ray Kayer? Who cannot draw hands? I need the people that can't draw hands to tell me that they cannot draw hands. Me, good. Esha, brilliant. That's what I like. Who else? 2, 3, 4, 5. Brilliant. Right, so I've got 5 or 6 people that, yes, me too. Brilliant. So you guys cannot draw hands, right? I'm good, thank you. Very good. So we're gonna make a virtual bet now, right? We're gonna make a virtual bet. I'm going to bet you in 10 minutes, you will be able to draw hands. Who's gonna bet with me? Who's gonna bet? 10 minutes. I've got one bet. Let's see who else is betting. Come on, if you can't do it, you might as well bet. All it is, yeah, grab your piece of paper. All the bet is that after 10 minutes, you will be able to draw hands. You just have to subscribe to my YouTube. That's all you have to do. I usually ask for cars, like Bentleys and stuff, but I've got 25 Bentleys now. I don't need another one. Right, go and get your pens, and then we're going to get into this. So whoever is just joining now, if you cannot draw hands, I bet you in 10 minutes you'll be able to draw hands. You get 10 minutes. Right, so everybody ready? Good. So let's get into this. I'm just going to wait until everyone's got their piece of paper. Kim, how you doing, mate? So we've got a bet on with the hand drawing. So let's do it. Are we ready? Ready? You guys have to interact with me. The time starts when it gets to 17, which should be starting very soon. And then we're going to get straight into this. Hold on. I'm looking for my red pen. Oh, got it there. So, good morning, Vicky. Ready? The time is taking long. Let's just start anyway. What does this look like to you all? What does that look like to you all? How you doing, Junie? What does that look like? No, it doesn't look like a hand. It looks like a pentagon. But I'm going to call it a crooked house, right? So when you hear me say crooked house, this is what I'm talking about, right? So what am I adding here? What is that? How you doing, Mazzy? What am I adding here? triangle. Brilliant. So now we've literally got this part of the hand, the palm, and we've got the triangle here for the thumb. Wherever you see me draw a sphere, that is a joint. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have this, right? Wherever you see me draw a line, that represents a finger. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and a thumb. So now all we have to do is add our additional joints. 1, 2, 3, and then a little bit higher, 2, 3, a little bit lower, 2, 3, and again a little bit lower, 2 and 3. So now I'm going to add this shape, cylinder. I'm going to add a cylinder to every finger, and now this represents the bone in the hand. So now we've got our skeletal hand, but a much, much simplified version of a skeletal hand. And all we have to do now is add our muscle or skin, and we have constructed a basic human hand. Stop the clock. Yes, I will do. So, did everyone get that? Am I a queen? I don't know. I will be posting this on YouTube. Did everyone... Now, the people that couldn't draw hands before, how many of you have a good idea as to how to draw a hand now? I've still got time, remember. I've got till 26. Thank you for the gifts, the roses. Thank you very much. So, who now can draw hands? Come on. Show me the money. Show me the money, mate. So all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube. That's all I ask. So I'm not going to laugh anymore because I've just won a bet again. I'm really quite cruel when I do that because I know how easy it is to understand that. Does anyone have any questions about that? Anyone got any questions about that? Thank you. For those that are actually following me on my YouTube now, that is, you're only supporting me and I really appreciate it. Thank you, Badger, for you're being very generous. And Matt the Illegal, Mazzy as always, Junie as always. No questions, right? Anyone else got any questions? Because that's why I'm here. Yes, Dode, I'm going to do that now, right? So what I want you guys to understand, right? Crooked house. That's all you have to remember, crooked house plus triangle. So now let's get a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper into it. So, remember I drew this sphere here. Does everybody know what a sphere is? We'll do that in a minute, Kat, don't worry. Does everyone know the difference between a circle and a sphere? Yeah? So we've got here a circle and we've got here a sphere, right? So a sphere is a three-dimensional object. See that? That could be a ring and that could be some sort of ball or marble or something like that, right? That's what you have to understand. It's quite important that you get that. Exactly. So we are talking 3D object. And we are talking a ring, which is a flat object. Exactly. So now here, I drew these lines for the fingers. I literally drew a blue line here running through the middle here, right? And then I added these spheres here. And then I added these cylinders here. So now we have literally constructed a finger. This is how we construct a finger. For example, now I add another sphere. I'm going to bend the finger like so. What do I add now? I'm checking to see if you're all awake. What do I add now? And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you really like what you see, you can find these videos brilliant on my YouTube channel. You add your cylinders. Look at that. Bang. So now we've got a finger that is bending like that. Straightened version, and it's now bending. Right? So we talked earlier about 3D. Everybody knows what the crooked house is, right? Everybody knows what the crooked house means and so on. So this is my crooked house, right? Like this is what I am outlining here in green. I'm going to draw the crooked house like this. And you have to bear in mind that our hand has a thickness. So that's like a wedge, right? Is everyone getting that? This is that. Is everyone getting that? You're more than welcome. I do it for free to help people. That's why I do it. So all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's all I ask. So everyone gets that. What that is. Understood. So now we're going to add. What are we going to add? My question is, what do I add now to this crooked house? What did I do the first time? Not yet. Not yet. Not the cylinder yet. We could add the joints. So we go 1, 2, 3, and 4. What else is missing? The triangle. Brilliant. You got it. Question mark. You got it. So look, all I'm doing is I'm adding my thumb like so. That's like a 3-dimensional wedge shape. One thing I didn't mention to you is very important. This distance here, is the same as here. See that? From my wrist here to my knuckle to finger. So these distances are roughly the same. As a general rule, it should be roughly the same. That should be a bit low actually. I've gone a bit too high to here. So that should be the same. Obviously I drew that very quickly, so it might be slightly off. Do you see what I mean? So if you like what you see, please hit the like button. Have you got any questions about it? Yes, I can do a faces for beginners. It's funny, I was thinking of doing one today actually. So if you're not following me, you should, because then I'm going to do a head drawing. It's funny, I did one the other day and I can show you it because I was thinking about doing it. I did one recently. Hold on. This one I posted recently. I did that on the 6th. So if you haven't seen that one, you can check that one out on my YouTube, because I literally go through the steps like so. And then I start to draw the different aspects of the head. So you should definitely check that one out. And that was a few days ago. So you can see that. You can watch that there. You're more than welcome. Just hit the like button and subscribe. That's all I ask. What's blessing? Oh, cat, that is too nice. Too nice. No, I don't, Angie. I don't know that art book. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. You don't like the hand. It's practice. You have to practice it. So let's get back to this here, right? Before we digress. So now I'm going to add the joint for the thumb here, right? So now we have our knuckles and our thumb. So now what I do is I will add 1, 2, 3, the 4 fingers. And I can add the thumb here. Hold on, I need a ruler. No, don't worry about the ruler. Forget it. No chance. I've been looking for ages for this type of content. Well, you've just found it, mate. You've just found it. This is my content. I will show you how to draw faces. The other day we were drawing the torso. I haven't posted this one yet. The other day, well, I've got the back. I've got back drawing tutorials. And my content is always, I break it down always pretty much in the same way like I broke it down here. You can see from the front and the back. And so you're in the right place. So what's missing here? It's more to do with, it's nothing, I don't think it's got much to do with talent. It's more to do with perseverance. Exactly. We add our additional spheres which represent our joints. See, I'm a grafter. I don't consider myself very talented, but I consider myself very, very hardworking. See, now we've got this hand here and we've tilted it. So we've got it tilted. We've got it at a 3-dimensional angle. Here was flat. Here we've got it 3D. So what's missing now? And thank you for your appreciation. Appreciate what you're doing for other people. You know what? Cylinder's brilliant. You know the reason why I do this? Because I didn't get into art school. I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth. I grew up in London, Brixton, London, which is a ghetto of London. And I wanted to go to art school. Didn't get in. And I just pursue my art on my own. And that's why I do it. Because I want to, I'm not into technology, if I'm really honest. And I think it's important that people, old and young, learn how to draw, because it's a connection to the soul, I believe. And if you are purely digital, I feel you're a bit disconnected, unfortunately. But that's just my opinion. We need a little bit of everything. And then we add simply our outline for the hand. See, and we're covering this one slightly. These are not very, very accurate hands on. The hand shape is a little bit shaky, but I'm just doing it quickly for you. But you can see how easily, so for example, if I wanted to draw a hand, I can quite easily use these stepping stones to draw a hand. And I've got a hand drawn up very, very quickly just by using these basic tools as my stepping stone. Do you see what I'm saying? Once you start to understand these basic tools and how to use them, you're drawing hands very, very quickly in different positions. So, I'm good, thank you, Sarah. And you, how are you doing? GM, y'all. Good morning. Good morning, Yasmonda. And thank you very much for the gifts, everyone, and for the follows. That's really, really appreciated. Just hit the share button. Share if you care. I'm not a beginner, but it's hard for me to draw hands. Okay, well, I don't consider myself also a beginner, but I would strongly recommend that people practice drawing hands all the time, especially when you want to start foreshortening and bending fingers and stuff like that. It can get very complicated. So what I'm going to show you, you guys and girls now, look at this now. If I've got, let's label these 1, 2, and 3, right? So if I go 1, I go 2, and then 3. What does that mean? 1, 2, and 3. What do you think that means? You can learn as well, Blend. That's 100% sure. No, Blend, you got this. You just have to practice, mate. How you doing, Quishy Wishy? I think that's how you pronounce it. How do you feel about virtual reality drawing? I do graffiti. Oh, yeah, I'm not into virtual. You know, it's got its place. It's got its place, but I believe in the traditional skills. I believe that we cannot lose these traditional skills like sculpting, dancing, singing. You know, I think they're very important to us, that we as human beings, we need to keep hold of. And drawing is I believe it's connected to our soul, if I'm honest. Yes, it's a finger. You got it. See, now, all I have to do is add some lines here. I add the fingertip here, and we would have a finger pretty much pointing towards us like that. We have 3 joints, 1, 2, and 3. And I did show you that image before, right? So what did we learn? There are so many details that we can overlook when we're drawing a hand. See, this is what a hand looks like, right? When we take away all the muscle and the skin and stuff like that, this is what our hand looks like. All I've done is I've simplified, let's turn it this way. I've simplified these joints. Here we have a triangle shape. Here, joint, joint. See, all I've done is simplify everything to these basic blocks. And that's what we're going to do. And that's what I even do when I draw the body. As you can see, I simplify it. I can draw it quite complicated. As you can see, it gradually got more complicated. However, I stick with basic elements to draw complicated body movements, for example. Maybe not so much complicated, but slightly altered body movements. How do you deal with frustration when your art doesn't turn out? Yeah, that's a tough one. This is why I say, when you're working with, when you're drawing, and you say, for example, if you draw with the pen, like I'm drawing with the pen, it teaches you how to be patient, because, and I think it teaches you how to draw accurately, because you can't rub it out. You know, you just cannot rub it out. So if you start, I would start with the pen, if I'm honest, because it's such a hard tool and it teaches you to be patient. Good question, Sharon. You're welcome. You're welcome. Everyone's welcome. I hope you're learning a lot. The joints from the start to the end. Yes. So this would be the knuckle here. So like, say for example, if we've got our knuckles 1, 2, and 3, now when I draw this in front of you guys and girls, right? You translate that to being what? What do you translate that to being? Oh, there's loads of chats. How you doing, V? Nice to see you again. Yes, I'll do it again. That, hang in there. Thank you, Badger. I'm gifted. You know what? You have sent me tons of gifts. I mean, I'm feeling very gifted, mate. I'm feeling very gifted, and I'm talking about the gifts I've received and RP. Hold on, I'm just scrolling. I have to scroll. I'm getting it. Yes, I'm going to talk about the wrinkles in a minute. Just Lim, hang in there. So I'm trying to read as quickly as I can. So if I miss anything, please repeat the question. Yes, exactly. With the pen, you cannot undo it, which is good. The fingers, right. So I've got to that question. Right, what we've got here is a fist. Can you see it now? You see it? We've got a fist coming towards us. This would be, if this is knuckle 1, 2, 3, and 4, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we have a fist coming directly towards us. Fist bump. You see that? So all we have to do now is add our cylinders. This one's a little bit long, but you get what I mean. This one's also a little bit long, but I'm doing this all for speed purposes, right? I'm not getting every dimension right. I'm just doing this for speed purposes. And I don't think we need it to be 100% perfect for this purpose. But there you go. We've got a nice, basic, but well-drawn fist. And we didn't labor over it for hours. It's coming directly towards us. And we could almost even, say for example, here I could go like this. It's going to be a little, oops. It's going to look a little bit strange initially. But now you can almost see we've got someone actually punching towards us. You see it? Yeah, you see? I love that name actually. Texas Chainsaw Mascara is a good name. Another name that I thought was absolutely fantastic was one of them. I don't know when I saw this person, and they called themselves Billy Eyelashes, and that one tickled me for days. I was laughing so much for that one. Billy Eyelashes. And then we got Texas Chainsaw Mascara. That is wicked, that name. Yeah, you got that, right? So, has anyone got any questions about it? Billy Eyelashes, that one cracked me up. I still laugh at it every time. I wish I'd taken that name. That is yeah, that's a good question. That's a good one, V. Eyelashes and mascara should be friends. Oh, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. Good stuff. Okay, so somebody asked about wrinkles, right? So if we've got, let's just draw two fingers, right? Oh no, hold on a minute. Just quickly, before I go any further, what does this mean? What does that look like to you? Yeah, that is a creative name. I love those names. What does that look like? I should have done it a bit bigger. Let me do it a bit bigger. Let me do it a bit bigger. Sorry, I'm trying to save paper. What does that exactly, right? So, no, it's not a worm. Oh. What are you doing, Philly Popo? What are you doing? Oh, a snowman. Oh dear. Thank you for the gifts, Badger. No, this would be, let's get it right. Let's get it right. Again, our crooked house again. And now we can add some fingers here, right? So if I'm adding fingers like so, and then I add my joint, 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 finger, 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 finger. Oops, gone a bit low, excuse me. And so on. So there we've got a hand now that is like in this sort of position. You see that? The thumb would be on the other side, right? So now I'm just showing you that. I'm going to cylinder everything off to show how we're going to add wrinkles to this hand, right? So as you can see, I'm really racing through this. I'm not thinking too much about it because I know what I have to do. I know I have to work with these certain steps. So I'm blitzing through that, and then I'm going to grab my, I'm going to give this hand a bit of a thickness just to make sure that we're all clear, right? So it's pretty scrappily drawn. If you drew this with a pencil, you'd be able to take away all of these lines, right? Imagine that you would be taking all of these lines away, because these lines are just guidelines. They're just to guide you, right? So now I'm going to add, just concentrating now on the red that I'm adding to this hand. So I'm going to take a little bit more time to make it look a bit more realistic than the other hands. And as you can see, just by, if you focus purely on the red, we've got quite a realistic looking hand. And why? Why is it more realistic? Because I'm adding a bit of, I'm making the surfaces undulate a little bit more, right? So say, for example, what do I mean? I'm making the knuckles protrude a bit more around here and around here. And then I'm adding some bends in the fingers. And now we have a hand that is like this. You can see that hand is like that. So when you draw and you want to say, let's draw it here. Actually, I've got a bit of space. If I stick to that same principle, 1, 2, 3, right? I'm going to stick to exactly the same principle again, because this is for beginners, right? But this helps me sometimes when I can't draw hands properly, because sometimes I think, oh, how does that look from the front? Now I'm going to add the creases in the actual skin, just the red. See? And now we've got a pretty accurate looking finger. And if you drew that on any character, people would recognize that as a well-drawn finger. And then what you could also do is add some nice, cool hatching. Some like hatching, just showing where the shadow is on the hand. And then you've got a pretty well-drawn finger. Guten Tag, Inken. It looks so cool. Good. I'm happy. I'm really happy. Anyone got any questions? And thank you very, very much for the lives, the likes, and for the follows. Has anyone got any questions? Feel free to ask any questions and I will try and help you out. You're welcome, Jassim. I have a question. Go for it, Crystal. Go for it. Go for it. So we've got hands. See? How do you do different perspectives of the hand? Well, what I would suggest you do is, say for example, if you draw, I'm trying to think of a different perspective. What you can do is, you have to experiment with this as well. You draw your crooked house at different angles. See that? I've just drawn my crooked house at a different angle. If I'm going to draw my crooked house like this, this in turn would be our triangle. I'll keep swapping the pens just so I can show you guys exactly what I mean. And this is our triangle here. Learn to draw these basic elements at different angles. Like so. See, now we've got two different views of a hand. And now all we have to do is add our fingers. I don't know what we're going to do with them, but we can bend one, we can hide these two behind. Do you see what I mean? Now we're just literally adding all of our joints, and then we can add the thumb like so. We've built that up very quickly. Here we've got the thumb hanging down, and then here we've got the fingers, as some people said, the snowman, but these are the knuckles stacked upon each other. So this would be a hand just hanging to the side of someone's body. And there you go. These fingers here behind, we probably wouldn't see much of them, especially the last smaller finger. We wouldn't see much of it at all. But then we've got our hand from a different angle. So let me just have a little scroll. I am 9. So hold on. Yeah, well, you're in the right place, EL. And this is being recorded. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you will find exactly this. I'll post this one today, so you can watch this video again. I'm sure that will help you. Ah, you've got a lot. Okay, I'll make a note of it. Inken, vielleicht habe ich auch Zeit. Ich kann es auch anschauen. 8:30 Uhr. Okay, es tut gut. Ich schreibe es auf. I will write it down, and I will try and join your live. Inken 2030. So, thank you for the roses, kind gifts. I'm just going to scroll through. I've got 20 messages. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to try and get there. Honestly, this is great. Even seasoned artists, these... Oh, cheers, mate. That is, I appreciate that. I'm 19 now. I was passionate about art, but never. Because my parents is... No way. You're just starting. No way. You got plenty of time. 19. You're so young. No, you got plenty of time. No. Forget it. No way. You can do great things. You've got enough time to do great things. Can you guys help me gain 600 followers? Yeah, we don't really do that. You don't really come into somebody's house like my live and say, can you guys come to my house? A bit strange. I will be checking out your YouTube channel for sure. Good. I think I've got around 55 videos on there. Unedited, but they still work. Shamay, you're more than welcome. So has anyone else got any questions, or anyone for that matter? Shamay, have you got any questions? Do you have a tutor? Yes, I do, Kira. And that is on my YouTube. This one I haven't posted this one yet, but I think I posted this. Yes, this one. This one you can find, and then you can see here the different body poses. So that one you can find definitely on my YouTube. Yeah. So that one you can find. Oh, that's cool. Ah, yeah. Well, I'm going to show you guys. Somebody asked me earlier about the arm. So, for example, here, if we've got the hand here, if we've got the, well, I've got it drawn here. If we've got our hand here, I'm going to try and stick to the right color scheme. If we've got our hand here, you guys know exactly what that is now. When I draw that, everybody knows what that means. So that's brilliant. I've run out of paper, unfortunately, but that's okay. We've got, so we've got a thumb and so on, right? I'm not going to add more detail to that because you guys know exactly what I mean. The wrist here and the forearm, you have roughly two hands, usually. It's not 100%. 1, 2 to the elbow here. It's roughly around two hands from here to here. You see that? But it varies, right? But we can use that as a rule where we say 1 hand, 2 for the forearm. Tip. So, as you can see here, this arm here, I've drawn the bones like this because they do actually cross like that. And this area here would be where the elbow is, and this here would be where the wrist is. And then what you do is just the same as when you added the cylinders here, you add a cylinder here. And you have a cool forearm attached to a hand. Yes, my YouTube is Art Walker. Yeah, Art Walker, and you might even see Art Walker 170, but you see a picture of my lovely, no, you see a picture of my face there. So you can't mistake it. You're welcome, purple suit dude. Something is make like a hand holding something. Sorry, something to see in perspective. Art Walker is my, yeah, I think I know what you mean. I'll get to that question in a minute. Thank you, Andy. Please hit the like button and share if you appreciate what I'm doing for you. I'm still having trouble with legs. I'm going to do a leg one next week. I'm going to do a leg one next week. I can tell you this one very, very, between me and you, Daytona, between me and you, I don't usually mix the lives, but the legs are roughly 4 heads. The head height here, or the distance between here and here, the legs are roughly 4 heads. So then you'll be all right. If you use that ratio, you'll be all right. I'm 43. You're young as well. I'm such a granddad, mate. And I'm just discovering a lot as well. I'm discovering a lot of anatomy stuff. I love my anatomy stuff. I like to break things down like this as well for people to really understand. And I do break it down in exactly the same way. We're never too old, mate. The journey's just begun. Yes, I will do that in a minute. I just got to fly through this chat. We'll talk about a hand holding something. Thank you. What's your name? Crystal Well. Right, I've got 40 messages. Woof, I don't. What are my moderators doing? What are you guys doing? Don't I pay you enough? You know, I get people to send you cars, and all you do is leave me to do all the reading. Do you use rulers? No, I don't use rulers. No, just by eye. Pretty much all by eye. You're a little bit late, 45 minutes in, but you've still learned something. You didn't know that the bones cross? Yes, they do. They do. Yes, they do. I did that no, not this one. I did a drawing this morning of the human arm, but the forearm, we have a cross in our bones. That's actually very helpful. I'm starting to... Yes, anatomy is the best. Especially if you want to learn to draw the body. It's the foundation of the human body. And if you don't understand the anatomy, you're going to struggle with knowing, say for example, you're going to struggle with knowing how muscles connect, say for example, to the collarbone and the shoulder. This is very important. I would definitely invest a lot of time into learning anatomy. Yes, you'll find it on YouTube. I'll post it today. Cool hand. Thank you, Dirk. Long time no see. Shading tutorial. I think I've got one on YouTube already. Yes, I have. I have got one. When do you usually do lives? I'm a bit of a rebel. I just do lives when I feel like it. Sometimes I might even just do 3, like one after the other. I don't schedule it. And many people say, you should schedule it, but I don't want to do that. Because sometimes I just feel like I want to do it. And I do it for like 3 hours. I just do 3 hours of lives. And like sometimes I stop and I think, right, I'm just going to do another live. Literally after the first one or the second one. So if you want to be notified, you have to get onto my Discord. Gramps. Oh, did your grandfather just turn up? Oh, I think Big Nuttall's grandfather just turned up. Yeah. I'm not a granddad. Do I look like a granddad? Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? I'm getting old. Yes, I do have a shading tutorial on YouTube. Unc, do you like overnight oats? Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to answer that one, because oats can have a double meaning there. Yes, I'm going to do. Yeah, we're going to keep going. Shading. I've said that one already. Shade. This might be the most people in your life. Keep answering the same stuff. Yeah, don't keep asking the same questions, people. I can't do it. Hand drawing for beginners, exactly. Right, so let's keep going. Oh God, there's too many questions. Teach anatomy, please, sir. I will, Big Nate. Big Nate, hang in there. Not today. I've got to get through these 21 messages. Yes, when the palm is facing or hanging, when your hand is hanging down, say for example, this is the left hand. This is how the bone folds over, like so. Or crosses over, excuse me. Should it what? Yes, I would definitely. Because you're going to draw people in the end, you know. If you don't want to draw people and you just want to draw cats or rabbits, then you just draw cats and rabbits. If you want to learn how to draw people, then you have to draw people from the core, which would be the bone. And then when I draw people, I always start with the bones, for example. Corley, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Okay. So I think I've covered most of it. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. So now we now know how to draw a hand. So what you have to do is, if you want to draw a hand holding something, right? Say for example, here I'm going to draw let me just draw, I don't know. Let's just draw something like this. So here, this could be, for example, a piece of wood. So I'm going to just give it a little bit of a grain. So we've got a piece of wood, right? So what I tend to do when I'm drawing hands and they're holding something, I tend to draw the object first. It's just our anatomy, Grace. It's just our anatomy. So what I do is I draw the object first. So if this was a piece, someone was holding a piece of wood, I draw the piece of wood, and then I would draw my crooked house on top of it. See that? And then this might have to go about a little bit lower down here, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have used a red one there because this would be our triangle going behind it. And then we have our forearm. So now we've got someone that is holding a piece of wood, for example. Obviously, we can do the same thing with someone holding a piece of wood, but we see the fingers, right? So this is a little bit more complicated. So this is my piece of wood again. I want a hand holding it, right? So if you imagine, we have to draw our crooked house the other side, like so. So this is where my wrist would be. And then these would be my knuckles. Where's he gone? Imagine you can't see that section here, right? This part we can't see. And then now we have to collapse the knuckles because this knuckle here would be behind this one here. And this one here is this one here. I shouldn't, let me just take that out because it's a bit confusing. Because that has to be behind. We can't really, I'm just going to leave it broken. So you kind of know what I mean. See that? And then our piece of wood is here. So then this is where it gets a little bit trickier because we have our fingers like so around the wood piece. And then we would have to add our cylinders and so on. But once you start to practice that, it's quite a basic principle and it does help a lot. You see that? Let's not forget, we would have our thumb at the front, you imagine? If I'm holding it like this, you see that? So then we would also have to add our thumb, like so. I know it looks a bit robotic, but once, as I said, you get these basic principles, you start to understand it. You're more than welcome, Miss L. Morrison. You're more than welcome. I'm just going through. Corley, you're more than welcome. Not a problem at all. Thank you for the gifts. Samantha Tokus. Fabian, Shadow and Badger is just loaded me up. He said I'm gifted. I am truly gifted because of all the gifts I've received today. I'm definitely going to follow on. Oh, you've been working on anatomy. Well, that's my. I love anatomy. Seriously, I am obsessed with it. I was just trying to find something. Can't really find it, but that's all right. I won't go into this now. But you're more than well. You're in the right place. You've got to think 3D. Exactly. You've got to think 3D. And then what I'm saying is, if I draw, this is a knuckle. This is the top of the finger, another knuckle. Now I've just drawn a finger that's moving like this. See? And it's going inwards. This finger, if I want this finger to move like this, I have to think 3-dimensionally. Tack, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we've got the finger going this way. It's shifting from left to right or right to left. Thank you. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button and please share if you really care. That would be nice. These are just the most basic pens. It's just a basic big pen. And this one is actually running out of ink. It's actually running out of ink. So I'm going to auction this one. Not that anyone's going to buy it, but never mind. I might get 20 francs for it or 20 pounds. How you doing, Samantha? How you doing? The thumb is here. I didn't really show you it, but I'll show you again. The thumb is simply, I did draw it here a couple times. The thumb is simply a triangle. If you look at that here, it looks like a triangle. So we've got our triangle, we add our joint, and then we have our thumb. And where you take that is up to you with regards to detail. But if you've got a good foundation, the detail, that is something you can just simply work on yourself. But I think people get more stuck with the mechanics of how a hand works. Oh, your internet's lagging. Oh dear. One more case. Holding the sphere. Right. Then we have to draw the sphere first. Cat. I'll try and do it quickly here. So if we've got our sphere, you now have to think, of what it's made of. However, you can say, okay, I don't know what angle you mean, but you could say, okay, crooked house. I'm going crooked house on my spherical object. I'm going to add my joints. And then I'm going to add fingers. Then I would add my cylinders. And I think that is pretty much spot on, if I'm honest. You can see that this hand is gripping some sort of ball. And you can see it's holding that ball, right? Maybe this part is a little bit long, but that's okay. We can remedy that very quickly. And not to forget the thumb, we can add the thumb here, or maybe the thumb is being hidden. That's up to you. But then that would be pretty much how I would do it. And then, as I said, if you draw it in pencil first, you can get rid of all of that green and all of that blue stuff that I've drawn. You can get rid of all of that, which I'm not going to do. And we've got a hand without reference as well, by the way. Remember, I'm not referencing it from anything, but we've got a hand that is grabbing something. Oh, 1 hour. So I'm not drawing the whole arm today, no, because the whole arm, that's another tutorial. The arm is totally different tutorial. I'm only sticking to the hand. Thank you, Fabian. Practice, practice, practice. Yeah, TikTok Studio calling. Yeah, that's it, exactly. Did I miss any questions? I wish I would. A couple of weeks ago. Did it work out, Corley? Did you actually work it out in the end? I'll check. I'd like to see that painting actually, Corley. I can actually check you while I'm here. Has anyone got any questions? I know, as I said, I'm not drawing the whole. One more request. Holding a sphere. Did that help? Because that's what I would do. The same if it's holding like a piece of wood, pretty much the same. But this is just the mechanics. It just teaches you how to put the mechanics together and the joints and so on. So, anyone got any questions? Okay. So that's what I tend to draw as well. I tend to draw very hard hands, and what you have to do is when you want to draw more feminine hands, you just don't draw heavy knuckles, and say for example here, this hand is very robust, but if I want to draw a more feminine hand, I tend to make the hand a lot straighter and obviously a lot more elegant. Do you see what I mean? And like, if you do add any little dips, just gentle ones, just gentle dips in the hand, longer, nice long fingers, not so heavy like this is a very masculine, square, blocky hand. You just have to use that basic principle here, but just reduce everything down to the max. So for example here, if this is, let me try and think about, if this was our hand, you would look at that automatically and say, oh, that looks more like a feminine hand, right? This distance between here and here, I'll make it a lot softer. The thumb, I'm making it a lot more dainty, like so. And you could automatically say, yeah, that is definitely a more feminine hand. So let me just, yeah, smoothing them out, Corley. Smoothing them out. You're welcome, Kat. How do you make your fingers just right? That's what I discussed earlier. If you look at the hand, this distance here is your longest finger here. And usually what I do is if I draw a hand like this, I always use I draw the longest finger first, and then the corresponding fingers gradually get smaller. You're more than welcome. Oh no, you don't. I will post this. I will post these two sides on my TikTok, and I will post the video on my this finger should be longer. Excuse me. I'll post the video on YouTube. It will all be there. Holding a table depends on the angle, right? Because your idea of how the hand is holding the table is different, maybe different from mine. But if the table is like this, it depends. It really does depend. What you have to do is think about, where is my, yeah, it's tricky. Where is my crooked house? Where is my palm? And where is my forearm? And then you just have to literally build the hand holding the table, if you know what I mean. It's a bit of a tricky one because I can't see from what angle they're picking up the table. You see what I mean? It's quite tricky. And what I would also do is I would, if you struggle with drawing a hand in a specific position, get someone to take a picture of you holding that table and use that information for your artwork. Yeah, I've got to post a few actually. I've got a few I haven't posted. This one I haven't posted. So I've got a bit of work to do. A bit of work to do. And then this morning I did one on a hand drawing again, but I drew a hand in a live in a half an hour like this. So I need to post a few. So probably tomorrow it's going to be stacked with another maybe six videos. Yes, I will. I will do, mate. No problem at all. In fact, if you go to YouTube now, if you look up crooked house tutorial, you'll find that already there. Not this particular one, but one that I did in the past. You're more than welcome, Corley, excuse me. Okay, mate, I will do. I'll let you know. You'll be the first to know. Oh, yeah, it's a worry when the internet goes down, I'll tell you. So, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Unless anyone's got any desperate questions, please let me know, and then we can probably wind this down. How do you draw a hand? Full front perspective. You have to imagine, if you look at the camera and you imagine this, you would only see the fingertip, really, wouldn't you? You see that? It's literally that. And then obviously you might see some knuckles stacked behind, and you definitely see some of the thumb. And then if anything, let's make this fingertip come a bit more forward. See, now I've stacked all of the fingers and all of the cylinders on top of each other. You have to learn how to stack your cylinders. Tricky. However, if you start like this and you think, okay, I'm going to have one here, stack the next one on top, stack the next one on top, and then gradually turn it around. So what would it look like if I draw it going upwards? What would it look like if I draw it going in this direction and upwards? That's when you start to notice that the finger becomes shorter. The joints remain in the same place pretty much. And now we have the same finger coming towards us. Yeah, and it's good. Like I did that Spider-Man image. The Spider-Man image is a good one where the hand is coming towards you, because it's literally like it's literally, I can't remember, his thumb is roughly like that. The knuckle, crooked house, as I said, crooked house is here. And then his arm is here. And then I've got the fingers coming really towards us like that. And then I think his shoulders here and his head is here. Spider-Man's head is there. And that's probably the worst Spider-Man image on the planet, bar none. But you get my point. And you can, in fact, let me just go and grab it. So this is more to do with the foreshortening of the arm, and as you can see there, that's that. And I'm gonna redraw this one. This has to be redrawn because that was drawn years ago, and I see things I'm like, ooh, I don't show him anymore because he used to be my favorite drawing, but now I see too many things I want to change. So, thank you, yay. Brilliant. This is what, well, I teach kids to draw, right? I used to teach kids in a class called Zero to Hero that I created myself, where they would draw their own superhero. So that's why I use these very basic terms like a crooked house and not a pentagon. Because a child would recognize that as a house that's tipped to the side. And that's why I think it works for me. No. You don't need to learn anatomy to get good at drawing. But if you want to learn how to draw people, you might have to. I'm always buying new paper. Good. So I think we've pretty much covered everything. Yeah? I think we've pretty much covered everything. And I'm not going to, I think we're pretty, we've done everything. Has anyone got any last questions? We've gone for an hour and 15 minutes. It's been an absolutely blazing live stream. Wait, when was that class? Which class do you mean? Sorry, I missed something. Femboy, this will be uploaded very soon on YouTube. Just subscribe to my YouTube, you can find it there. Thank you, Nicole. Good. Okay, I think I've exhausted everyone. So I'm going to say thank you very much to everyone that attended, and thank you to all that have followed and appreciated my work. I will pop in after. Thank you. You're more than welcome, Corley. I will be doing a lot more of tutorials like this. I do a lot of the human body. I do a lot with regards to eye drawing. I do a lot. I do a little, well, not a little bit. I do character designs, like I draw characters and I do them all in my lives. So if you like my content, please subscribe to all of my channels and then we can all grow together. So this is all my stuff, all original, all done by yours truly. Faces, bodies, more body parts, body poses and positions, foreshortening and stuff like that. So stay in touch. Well, I might be able to help you. My YouTube channel, Art Walker. It's called Art Walker. Just like here. Just like here. Good stuff. Okay. I wish you all a lovely weekend. I'll probably, who knows, I might even be back later on because I'm a bit bored today. So chances are you might be able to see me in an hour or so. Have a great day and thank you for all of your time. Au revoir, bonne journée, auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Bye bye.